Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahawashi, Bahasham, Rakahak Wadash, Barakatum. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and infinite honors to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahawashi. Double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone who rule and teach well. In peace and salutations to you sincere Akim out there, pushing this word in truth and sincerity to the four corners of the globe. May you brothers endure until the end. This is the brother Ra'aya coming at you with another lesson, and I'll be profiling this clip from Fox 13 Seattle's YouTube channel titled Tariffs Starting to Impact Inflation in the U.S. And hey, with DJ Donald Trump in office, he's got the fastest hand in the West because it's been about 3.5 weeks, going on a month with him being in the Oval Office, and he's been signing executive order after executive order, just turning damn near everything upside down. And one of the main things he's been using and threatening are these tariffs, not just on enemies of America, but allies of America as well. And as we'll see in this clip, it's having a economic impact on the already, low economic position in the United States of America. And, this is just another step in playing into the larger economic collapse and depression that's coming to the United States of America. Things aren't going to get better from here on out. There may be lulls here and there, maybe even peaks and valleys, but ultimately the economic situation in this country is going to completely deteriorate, and people are, going to lose it. As Gerald Celente, famously said, when people have nothing left to lose, they do lose it. So if these, high prices are hurting you now, hey, you better get ready to tighten your pockets that much more. But I'm going to play, maybe about half of this clip, but this is a fair use copyright disclaimer. I do not own any of the footage in this video, nor do I stand to gain from it monetarily. It is simply for educational purposes.
Well, the latest inflation numbers are confirming what we've all felt in our wallets. Prices are going up and shoppers are feeling that pinch. Yesterday's Consumer Price Index report showing inflation jumped 3% for the month of January, with prices rising 0.5% from just a month earlier, the largest month-to-month increase in over a year. Eggs are a major contributor to the rising cost of food, with the bird flu running rampant. Egg prices are up more than 50% than a year ago.
And that's another thing. In the midst of, these tariffs and inflation and these economic factors, you've got the avian sneeze, lowering the supply of eggs and chicken. It's just all, a perfect storm brewing to bring, the squeeze to America and you American citizens. And, I've definitely noticed the incremental rising prices of things out here myself, because I fairly regularly go to Smoothie King and get the same thing. And, I've been noticing, the price jump up, 25, 50 cents, $1 here and there. So, it's definitely on the rise out here.
With a dozen eggs now pushing $5 nationwide.
Everyone's paying more. We're paying significantly more than we were middle of last year or late last year.
I don't do impulse buys anymore. I can't afford to do impulse buys.
The period for the CPI report does not cover Trump's first few weeks in office, something the White House was quick to point out. This comes after the president pledged during his campaign to lower prices on day one. The future remains uncertain for consumers
And, they recently asked Donald Trump, are Americans going to feel the squeeze? And he's like, yeah, Americans are going to feel the squeeze. The prices are going to go up. But overall, they'll understand and things will get better, roughly paraphrasing him. And like I said, you may very well, see, prices go down for a little bit and things seem to be on the uptick. But ultimately, we know through biblical prophecy that things are going to get to a point to where it's just, which, for a lot of people, they're at that point, just unaffordable, and people are going to lose it because you got food prices, You got utility bills, gas prices, people working 2 to 3 jobs, just to pay for a studio apartment or, something that, should be much cheaper than that. And people are one paycheck away from, being out on the streets.
Possibility for more tariffs on the way. Well, Canada is our state's
that clip, but the main takeaway is that prices are going up and people are feeling the squeeze, which is all a part of biblical prophecy. This is Revelation chapter 6. I'm going to start at verse 5. And this is dealing with the so-called 4 horsemen of the apocalypse, which are just symbolic for different things that would be taking place in the last days. And when he had opened the 3rd seal, I heard the 3rd beast say, "Come and see." And I beheld, and lo, a black horse, and he that sat on him had a pair of balances in his hand. Verse 6, and I heard the voice in the midst of the 4 beasts say, "A measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny, and see thou hurt not the oil and the wine." And when we go to that word penny in the Strongs, it's G1220, denarion, which in the outline of biblical usage says a Roman silver coin in New Testament times. And America is Rome reborn. So looking at it today, that's that almighty US dollar. A Roman silver coin in New Testament times. It took its name from it being equal to 10 asses, which, was another, Roman coin that was, it was originally, I think, bronze, and then they later changed it to a copper, a baser metal. What does that sound like? A currency devaluation, which happened in ancient Rome, just like it's happening in the United States of America right now. Hence why your purchasing power is going down. It was the principal silver coin of the Roman Empire. From the parable of the laborers in the vineyard, it would seem that a denarius was then the ordinary pay for a day's wages. And in the ancient world, and especially in the law and the scriptures, a man was paid for the work he did that day. It's not like how it is today, which is complete wickedness, where you get paid, every week or every 2 weeks. So looking at it in modern times, a measure of wheat for a penny and 3 measures of barley for a penny, using damn near your entire paycheck to buy, the basic and less than basic amount of goods. What does that sound like? Inflation, which, as we saw in that clip, people are feeling the pinch from inflation. And, these tariffs are only going to add to the squeeze. This is Zephaniah chapter 1. I'm going to read verses 10 to 11. Because what all of this is eventually going to lead to is an economic collapse and that great reset that the elites who are pulling the strings behind the scenes, the Rockefellers and the Rothschilds, who are your true president, not DJ Donald Trump the puppet, are looking for, that reset to put everything digital and ultimately have you with that C-HIP in you so you can use these CBDCs or central bank digital currencies. And recently some information came out saying that Elon Musk, the assistant president, wants to put the U.S. Treasury on the blockchain. And the blockchain deals with what? That digital ledger. And it shall come to pass in that day, saith Yahweh, that there shall be a noise of a cry from the fish gate and an howling from the second. And the fish gate can represent what? A place of commerce, an economy where buying and selling takes place. Think about it like your modern day Wall Street. And an howling from the second and a great crashing from the hills. And in the scriptures, mountains and hills can be symbolic for governments. So a crashing of the hills is what? A crashing of these countries, these governments' economies. How ye inhabitants of Maktesh, for all the merchant people are cut down, all they that bear silver are cut down. So if the merchants and those that bear silver are cut down, what does it mean? an economic crisis to where things are so bad that it doesn't matter, how much money you had, your money has no more value, or the value has been decreased that much that, you have to pay hundreds of dollars for a loaf of bread, like in Weimar, Germany. Again, a measure of wheat for a penny and 3 measures of barley for a penny. And, the crashing of the hills. Think about when you see those economic information with those arrows, when it goes up, it's green. And then, if there's a big crash in the Dow Jones or the S&P 500, that arrow goes down and it's red. And what does that look like? A mountaintop going up, coming down, and crashing. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 12. I'm going to read verses 3-4. In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble. And this is talking about these different, economists out here, which a lot of them are trembling right now, looking at the economic situation. And when you go into the etymology of the word economy, it means housekeeping. So again, more scriptures dealing with, economic declines and collapses. And the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease because they are few. And, grinders, when you're grinding, what are you doing? You're working. So workers decreasing, and those that look out of the windows be darkened. These different businesses, these merchants being cut off. So what? They're having to lay off their grinders or their workers because they just can't afford to keep them anymore. And them looking out of the windows and the windows being darkened is these people looking for jobs but can't find any because there's no more hiring. And the doors shall be shut in the streets, businesses going out, which during 2019 to 2021, the middle class, was eviscerated. And a lot of those mom and pops and businesses like that went under. While who survived? These mega corporations, which is what the elites want. A monopoly over, food, gas, all these amenities to where you've got a handful of businesses you go to, which, they control all of them. And the doors shall be shut in the streets when the sound of grinding, working is low. And he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low, which you can see with the current state of affairs with music that has definitely been brought low. Pound Town with Sexy Red. That's all that needs to be said. Now I'm going to close it out in Isaiah chapter 24. I'm going to start at verse 7 because in that clip, you saw those Americans, complaining about the prices. I believe one guy said, I have to, catch myself on spontaneous purchases because I got to, penny pinch because I'm getting stretched that thin. The new wine mourneth, the vine languisheth, all the merry-hearted do sigh. The mirth of the tabrets ceaseth, the noise of them that rejoice endeth, the joy of the harp ceaseth. Bad times in America where people, aren't in that celebratory spirit like they were in the past, which we can definitely see with these holidays. This past Thanksgiving was the lowest on record. The same with Black Friday. You had a bunch of people around Christmas complaining about how this Christmas just doesn't feel like Christmas at all. People don't have the money or the energy to be happy around the holidays. Verse 9, they shall not drink wine with the song. Strong drink shall be bitter to them that drink it. Instead of drinking alcohol to celebrate a promotion or have a good weekend, people are drinking and doing drugs to drown out the severity of the situation that they're dealing with. The city of confusion is broken down, and America is known as Babylon the Great in the scriptures. And Babylon or Babel in the Hebrew means confusion by mixing. So the city of confusion, the city of Babylon, the city of America is broken down, and every house is shut up. Why? The grinders ceasing and the merchants being cut off, that no man may come in. There is a crying for wine in the streets. all joy is darkened, the mirth of the land is gone, and that wine goes into people looking for answers out here, which, you got a lot of people, voted for DJ Donald Trump thinking he was the answer. But as you continue to see that he's no different from these past politicians, and he's really going to drop the hammer on you people. Hey, people are going to be looking for answers to see what comes next or what can we do. And unless you're an Israelite or so-called Negro, Latino, or Native American of the elect, that, Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai has opened up your spiritual eyes and ears to understand the scriptures and knows what comes next, for the majority of you people, even including the wicked of our people, the only answer you're going to get is lamentations, mournings, and woe, and that death by pain. But that's it with this video. And with this video, I hope you sincere Akim and Akwath were edified. Just keep strong. As we can clearly see, we are almost out of this final wicked captivity of the heathen nations, chiefly of the Edomites. And as always, I'm going to say Abad Babol, Kwam Yasharala, and until next time, Shalom.